Michael, can you hear me? Hey, don't give me that. Welcome back, my friends. What is going on? We are back in the shop for just another good old work day. So today we are diving back into the second gen engine. Today will hopefully be the last day of what I would call teardown. The goal for this evening is to, one, pull the cylinder head off of this thing, and number two, undo our front cover and pull our cam out. Now, I forgot up until about a couple hours ago that the last time we pulled a cam, we actually had to go to Mark's to press off and on the cam gear on our new HAMPTON cam sitting right down there. So we just so happen to be going to Mark's at the tail end of this week, just like every other week. So what we need to do is we need to get that cam out so we can kind of coincide, and then maybe we can start putting things back together. So I know for a fact we need to get that done. So without further ado, we're going to dive right into it. And what I want to kind of show you guys, this is maybe where a lot of guys stop because they're a little worried about the internal workings. They don't want to mess anything up. So we might dive into just a little bit of detail just to kind of help you guys out if you're doing a similar job. That's the overall goal, is to try and help you guys out. So what we're going to do is we basically have torn everything off. We're down to valve train right now. So first step up to pulling the cylinder head off at this stage is we're going to undo all of our rocker arm assemblies. We're going to keep them together. We're going to label 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on up until 6. We're going to lay that out on the table like I always do. All you have to do to do that is remove these 10mm bolts. They thread into the head right here. We're going to keep them as an assembly and always make sure, what I normally like to do, we are on top dead center. On these specifically, they have a TDC line there, and there's a line right there. So top dead center right there. And I don't believe this damper actually, it was kind of rusted, and I can't really see. Normally they would have like TDC right here. I just went ahead and drew a line. Another way you can verify that you are on number 1 top dead center, intake and exhaust rocker are both loose. Now, if you were to spin this a full rotation and you had these be tight but number 6 be loose, you'd be on number 6 top dead center. So number 1 top dead center is where we're at. Honestly, with the work that we're doing, I don't think we really need to know that. Maybe it's just a habit of mine, but we are on number 1 top dead center, and we're gonna go ahead and pull this off. That way we know, because we're not gonna be touching the short block at all at any point, that is where everything is kind of gonna be reset at when we go ahead and start redoing our valve lash. So hopefully that helps for the initial start. Like I said, pull these off, and then after that we're going to go ahead and remove our factory head bolts, all, what is it, 24, 26 of them. We're going to go ahead and do that, and then we'll be able to, after that, pretty much pull this thing off, get a chain from here to here, and we'll see how many times we ding up our nice painted firewall, and then we'll catch back up with you guys and we'll go dive into the front cover. Alrighty guys, check it out. Cylinder head is officially off. Let me grab a light so we can take a look at inside the engine there, but I did take a quick peek. Everything looks as it should. Again, this truck only had 170-ish thousand miles on it. The head gasket and all the valves and everything look extremely good. This truck didn't even have a programmer on it when I picked it up, and I don't think it ever has. I think a couple of the owners were older gentlemen, and the other guy who I picked it up from actually bought a tuner for it and never actually even installed it. So the head gasket actually looks like it's in really, really good shape. This truck was pretty much, I don't want to say as you know, bone stock and virgin as it comes, but it was pretty close. Let's see here, we got a light, but the cross hatching inside this thing, let me see, I don't even know if this camera's gonna do it justice, but man, it looks really, there, oh baby, there's the money shot. Looks really, really good. There's a little bit of water stains, that last one, those are just water. A little bit of coolant coming down from when we pulled the head, but trust me when I say she is good. She is ready for some more abuse, that's for sure. So everything looks good, extremely happy. I didn't really expect any different out of this because, again, the mileage and the fact that I knew this thing really wasn't beat on at all. But we're gonna go ahead and get a lot of this stuff eventually swapped over to the other cylinder head. We do have some work to do on the other cylinder head. We still have to lap in the valves on this head that our buddies down at King Speed machine. This was actually for a different customer that kind of decided he didn't need it. I don't even know what the exact story was, but this has a fresh machined surface on it that we just need to pretty much lap the valves in. Has new seals for the valves. Nothing crazy. I don't think it was really even ported, but again, everything that we're really looking at is really just this fresh gasket. Oh, and it does have fire rings, so the fire rings are going to help definitely quite a bit. So yeah, this is the head. Needs to get cleaned up, painted up, give some attention to, you know, just the little detail stuff. But as far as everything looking good, everything is just in fact that, just looking good. So I have had a couple people ask me if I double checked that this was a 53 block, and if you guys don't know what a 53 block is, some of these blocks on these second gen 24 valves, I'm trying to find a good place for this camera to sneak in here. This is, it's not that number right there, it's this number right down in here. Wait, golly, if you can see right there. Well, you guys can just take my word for it too, but the number that you're looking for is right, let me see, right there. See that? Now, I can't get you guys any lower, but that's actually, it's a 56 block. So 53 is the number that you don't want. Some of the castings in the blocks were, I don't know exactly, a little weaker or what, but normally they crack right in this general area if you have a 53 block. More often than not. Some of them don't, but this is not a 53 block. This is a, whatever that 56 is. Good enough to send down the track is what it is. Anyway, so moving on, and like I said, I'm getting a little bit more detailed on this video talking wise, just so you guys know. So the cylinder head is off now. We're going to dive into the front cover here, and again, this is because we're doing a head gasket and cam at the same time. If you were doing one or the other, you may not need to do both of these steps. You can obviously pull the cam with the head still on, and vice versa, right? Obviously, if you're doing a head gasket, you don't need to pull the cam. So anyway, you can do, this is because we're doing both. Let's just clarify that. So, and again, there's more ways to skin a cat than one. So if you do things slightly different, then that's perfectly fine. Make sure the dowels stay in the block. One right here, one right there. Those are important as well. And that's, I just wanted to point that out. That's the fuel return in the back of the cylinder head there. So make sure you guys grab that. Anyway, diving into the front cover, we're going to take off our balancer, and what we're going to need to do to pull the cam once we get the front cover off is we are going to put our 1/2-inch wooden dowels on the tappets inside here and then lift them up off the lobes of the cam. You have to physically lift the tappets. Let me see. I've kind of gone over this a little bit, but let me show you inside here. Those are the Hamilton springs. Here are the tappets on a flat tappet engine. Obviously, you have lobes of a cam, and these tappets are sitting roughly right about here in the engine, and these move up and down with your cam. You have to physically lift these off the lobe of the cam so you can pull the cam out, and we'll get into that, but the wooden dowels are, you put these wooden dowels in right here, they kind of smash right into the end of this tappet, and you can pull them up. You zip tie them together, and I'll show you guys all that when we get there, but a little bit of in-depth explanation, I know, so that's what we're doing next. Michael! Can you hear me? Hey, don't give me that.
You're top dead center.
Yes, I know I'm at top dead center. Can you? And by the way, you're on the YouTube. And if you say something dumb, I won't put it on. But
then I won't talk.
What is what is that? Why is there a little bolt? I'm just trying to see. Has someone been in this case before? And this has got a Torx bolt on it for some reason.
There's I believe that. So what year is that?
02?
Yeah, I think the 01, 02s that actually has because there's a sensor in the back.
Back of what?
On the back of the case.
Oh, that corresponds with this?
Might be like the crank sensor.
Oh, okay. Do I need to do anything with that about pulling the cam out or no?
No.
Just leave it?
Yeah, just leave it.
Oh, okay. I've never seen it before, so that's...
It's just going to go back in. It's just got a ring on the back, I believe.
Okay, I didn't know that. I'm not really sure. And if Michael's wrong too, don't blame him either. But does this look? I just peeled this off, and some bolts were actually loose, and I was like, I wonder if someone's been in this before.
Is that RTV?
It is RTV.
Yeah, somebody probably was in there.
I wonder why
I
though.
I don't know why that's a Torx.
This looks like, you know what? This is a Torx bolt too, because normally.
Yeah, they're all.
This looks like a Torx bolt too, and maybe I've never seen one with Torx bolts.
I have never seen them with Torx.
I mean, do I need to put a thing over that?
Is there a dowel in there?
There is a dowel in there, yeah.
Some of the 24 valves were known for them falling out, but not as often as.
Not as often, but it's.
I saw on the Instagram somebody used a soda can tab. Just use that.
Just use a soda can tab, seeing that it's not a high risk. I wonder why somebody was in here. I always wonder about that stuff, like why such a stock engine somebody would possibly be in. I don't know.
Somebody must have just had to use whatever they had.
Do you think it might be stupid of me to not replace the case gasket, seeing that the cam's coming out and I gotta pull the VP?
I would put a gasket on it, not get rid of that RTV nonsense.
No. I don't mean this cover to case. I mean case to block. Like, do you think I should pull the case off and reseal that while I'm at it?
You're right there.
And that's what I mean. The cam's coming out, and that gear's coming off for the VP. Like, it's only a couple more bolts. Should I just do it?
I would. You're right there.
Yeah, that's what I was afraid you were gonna say.
Want to see my new ride?
Yeah, let's see it. Can the YouTube know?
Yeah.
Oh man, our man Mikey G just picked up a new ride. Oh baby, we've seen one of those before. It's not a diesel. It doesn't belong on the GREGA can. Not yet.
Not yet.
What happened to those baller wheels that were on it?
They're on their way.
Oh, they are.
He took them.
Oh, he took them.
Yeah, so I got different ones coming.
You're an animal.
There's studded snow tires on the front of this baby.
Does it do sweet burnouts yet?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. All right.
No.
All right, well, thank you for your expertise. I need to continue to take things apart. The cam is going to... You going to put a gooseneck hitch in the back of that baby?
Yes.
Hey, yeah. Show me the most important thing inside that garage right now. Is it inside?
My truck?
No, not your truck. The big one that I need.
It's outside.
Oh, it's outside. All right, well, we'll have to have that next time then.
Okay.
All right, thank you, buddy. I love you.
Enjoy.
All right, bye, Cream. Alrighty, guys. Well, you heard the man. Oh boy, someone's been in here, which I really don't care a whole lot about. But I don't know why they were. But here's my dilemma. I'm like, man, we should really pull the case off and change that gasket. And you know where my mind immediately goes is, man, if we're gonna pull the case off, we should really just pump this thing right now. That's exactly where my mind goes. But just a couple things that I've never seen before. Oh, look at that. There's actually 3 of them. There's actually 3 of those nut things. I didn't even see that. But hey, you know our man Mikey G. A lot of you guys get parts through him, and he's my go-to. If I don't know something, I'm usually calling him, especially on these. This isn't quite a dinosaur, but it's close enough in my opinion. So we are going to go ahead and continue disassembly. Again, we're going to put the push rods into the tappets now because basically, I just said basically like 4 times in a row. If we undo these 2 bolts right here, that's the cam retainer. Once the tappets are up, we will, I believe, I don't think there's any other steps that I'm missing. These 2 bolts, I believe the cam will come out as soon as the tappets are up right now. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. And again, these marks, I guess I should back up. These marks right here are not normally from the factory. And the fact that there's RTV instead of a gasket, because they actually do make a gasket for that. And then again, here's the killer dowel pin that we tabbed on the 12 valve that some 24 valves are known for. But that is, I mean, and again, why would we not put a new oil pump in here? So it just, you guys know, it spirals out of control drastically. We're not going to try and do a lot of that, but you know how it goes. The other thing that I did notice, I was like, you know what? We are not going to get a damper for this thing, but I can see the rubber is quite a bit pushed out on this one already too. So I just, you know, I have a problem. I can't put things back together when I know that they're maybe okay, you know. Something stupid were to happen, it'd be like, well, now I'm really kicking myself in the butt. So anyway, let's set you guys up, get this cam out. Guys, early the next morning, the last thing that you guys saw, we did get the cam out, and as you can see, there is that tone ring on the back there. So cam is out. Everything, actually, I didn't even really get a chance to look at the cam here, but everything looks pretty good. Everything seems to look pretty good. It doesn't look like the cam that came out of the first gen that you could see. There's a little bit of wear, but nothing super bad. Right there, yeah. See, it starts to get like that stuff going on to it. But overall, it's not like I wouldn't put this back in it. But it looks pretty good. It's not brand new, but it's not bad, that's for sure. So we're gonna pack that up. We're gonna bring that to Mark's in the next video. And we did actually get our HO VP pump pulled off, and we're gonna be putting our SO pump on here. And I did get a couple questions, and again, I am not, as we saw, I am not an expert. And like I said, I learned something in the last video. I said I learned something new every time I pull something apart, and this is a prime example of that. But the main reason we're going to be swapping from an HO pump to an SO pump, when you try to start making more than, say, I think around, like, to give it a number, like a 500-ish number, the HO pumps, the way that they're configured, barrel and plunger and everything else configured in here, I mean, I'm not an expert on the internal workings on how, you know, like the stroke and the displacement of this pump, but it's configured different from an SO pump, and when they start seeing more power, they won't go above 500. To put it in short terms, they have a cap, and SO pumps, which come on standard trucks, actually will make more power when you start putting fuel to them, when you start putting tuners on them. The HO pumps actually make less power, or limited to. So that's the main reason we are switching to a normal SO pump. So nothing wrong with this one, but we have an SO pump that we're going to be putting on. So the VP is off. And actually, I don't know, I might have even said before about changing the case. I don't think, you might not need to change the case to P-pump swap, because it does have the it kind of looks exactly like a P-pump case, but I'm not sure. Again, I don't really know. But we have our handy dandy nifty tappet tool. So the tappets are pretty much ready to come out. Like I could actually, if we undid this and you let the tappet fall, you can see the tappet just fell right into that tray. And that's gonna be the next step that we probably will not get to, but to get these out, give them a little, okay, it fell out of the groove. Come on, come on. See, when you tap these in really hard, sometimes you got to give them an extra little shove to get them out. And then the tappet falls right out of the block. Hey, come here, you devil log. All right, this is normally where you use a magnet, but seeing that we're just doing number one, I just wanted to pull one out to show you guys. So you can kind of check the wear on these as well. Which they look good, but we are going to replace them every time you do a new cam. You know, per cam instructions, you are supposed to change these because these wear with each lobe of the engine. So they ride on here and they go up and down just like so. But that is the general gist of it. Thank you again, huge thanks to Mike for letting us borrow this nice tray. This nice tray is really nice, and we'll go into a full in-depth of how to change the tappets again. That's probably one of the, I guess, most time-consuming things. It wasn't too bad, especially now that we have everything off, kind of feeding the rope down, pulling the tappet up. We'll get into that. But as of now, that is pretty much going to wrap it up for this video, guys. A lot of you guys did say make sure we change this gasket right here on the side cover. We have to take the computer off, so we're gonna end up doing that too as well, just to make sure that we're good. I don't think we're gonna go with a fancy billet one. I don't think so. I'm not sure, but that is the gist of it. And like I said, because you know me, boys. You know me. There's a gasket right in between here, between the block and this case. And seeing that we're right here, all I really got to do is disconnect 2 bolts for the vacuum power steering pump thing, and that'll come off, and the case will come off. So we might as well. That is going to wrap up this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for the next video, where we got a lot of stuff coming up in the next video. We're gonna get that cam, the new cam gear pressed on, the new Hamilton cam, and a bunch of other stuff in the next video. So make sure you guys are subscribed, make sure your notifications are on, and I will catch you guys in the next one. See ya.